Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Ken Digest and I'm coming live at our beautiful home here in Africa, in East Africa, Kenya, and it's a very calm morning. Let me say it's a cloudy morning because it has been really raining of late, and the sun hasn't really come out that strong. It's around almost 7 in the morning, and let me just invite you all to the channel. If you are new, please subscribe. If I'm a returning subscriber or viewer, I'm so grateful for always coming to support the channel. And today it's gonna be an emotional day because one of our sheep delivered, and we have a lambkin. A lambkin is, I think, a young one of a sheep. Yes, so it's a female one. For the females lambkins, we usually cut the tail so that they can mate, so that they don't have problem mating. But if it were a male, we could have just left the tail, because the male sheep usually have the male lamb, is it lamb or yeah, male lambs or sheep usually have a tail, a very big tail, a very fatty tail. Yes, and people love it. But for the female ones, it's usually cut so that it can not have problem mating. I'm trying to look for the sun or the light because it's a little bit cloudy. Yes, and I want it to be that way. Although yesterday it really drizzled, much part of the day was foggy, or let me say it wasn't a bright day as such. Yeah, so for us to begin the process, we have to, because we are cutting it, it's always advisable to cut it early in the morning, like now when it's so cold. So I suggested for my dad that because the process wanted to be very cold, we can dip the lambkin in a very cold water for, let's say, 2 minutes, then bring it out, then cut it. Or we can just cut it, because it's even cold now. We can cut it, but we use a very sharp knife with a hot blade. So once you cut it, you smear. Traditionally people smear cow dung, because cow dung has that property of healing. So only cow dung, not any other dung. So you cut it, because once you cut it, the blood will ooze out very fast. So you also have to be very fast with it. So you cut, smear the cow dung, then put the hot metal on the tail until it turns brown. Yeah, so I'm just here. I just want to show you the process of I think it's an initiation process for a lambkin, a female lambkin, to become now a female lamb. Yes, something like that. So I just want to share the process. Maybe a person viewing this and is also from Africa, and maybe one day is also aspiring maybe to keep sheep, can practice, because sheep are very easy to handle. They're not like goats. No, goats are browsers. So if you keep goats, it's either one, you have to keep it in a zero grazing house, practice zero grazing, or you have to have a very huge land with a lot of plants, because goats are browsers. But for the sheep usually eat grass. Their common meal is just grass. So if you have a very not really a very big piece of land, but compared to the goats, the sheep are easy to keep. So that's why we have a few, and we don't have goats yet. Maybe one day we will just decide to keep a few, because also goats are so expensive. If you go to the market, the goats are expensive. On our side, maybe on different parts of the country, maybe the sheep is expensive, but goat meat is really tasteful, not tasty, compared to even cow meat, the steak. But the sheep is less expensive, because the meat is not that tasty compared to cows and the goats. So I think we are gonna I'm gonna take you. We are still heating up the metal, so we are heating it in on our kitchen garden. Not really, I'm used to kitchen garden. Our kitchen, yes, we have an outside kitchen. So this is the blade, and it has to be red. So this is the one we are gonna use to, after cutting, we place the hot metal on the wound so that the blood can stop oozing. So we have to eat it first. Yes, just like this. So this is our lambkin over here. So you have to cut the tail. This is the tail. So you touch the tail so that you don't cut the bone. So so this is salt. After cutting it, you place salt. Calling any either day, mom. Dia nyaka kataka monkiko. Maka masalika. Kanye maonge chogo. Wangi beti, mom. Yani beti ma. So you have to make sure the blade is red. Yes.
Daktari. Yaani hadi kukino.
Kicking choke.
Ada itu. Sega.
Ini miwi.
Sedih.
Yes. So you bring the
Kena kabit ini. Nah dicung. Ada dicung.
Ike keliti ini
wanga mosi ni betino ako nini wanga motu kama kitu chumbi kani ko gibedi ata beti
ko ni gitu
ni ngudia ma
itu mana
dong poro mami nen
beti no chia dong baba wodi mate dikucho
dong kodie to
kiki wanga
remo ok bi kodie kaona ka so guys, we are adding salt.
Kilo limo ko kamana ese
macho mako. So we already cut the tail. See how the tail is short. So this one is the lambkin. So it's sucking milk now. That means that we did the process. We cut the tail nicely because the blood is not even oozing out. What I know for sure is she's feeling pain. Yes, but at least she's feeding. So guys, this is almost 5 hours later, and I'm coming to check the small lamb over here, and she's doing fine. And you know, we are supposed to check her throughout the day, so just to make sure that the wound isn't bleeding. Now, no, this is maybe how do I say it, disturbing content to some of you, but these are some of the initiation that also animals get to experience apart from human beings, because you know, Africa, when you go to most communities, they still preserve some culture, and for the passage, the rite of passage that we've done today, it's so important in a life of a lamb, especially the female ones, because as I've said, it helps them to just mate. And if you don't, because you know, lambs usually takes 6 months to give birth. So in a year, you can let's say not really a year, but in 15 months or 14 months, you can have 2 lambkins, depending on how you feed the mom, the mother. Yeah, so it's usually better to just take care of them as well. And yeah, so we'll keep on checking on the lambkin. And initially I mentioned that in some cases people use cow dung, but for us we use the salt, the table salt. So we grinded the table salt into a powdery form. Then after cutting, we smeared, then put on the blade, then the hot blade, just to fry the whole place in order to stop bleeding or any bleeding afterwards. Yeah, so it's still cloudy. The sun hasn't really come out yet in our village over here in Africa, and I think if you see there's some dark clouds. And over here, you know, it's a little bit different from Nyabohanse. Although I saw videos from Nyabohanse, I was seeing it has rained also over there, and that's a blessing, because a lot of people really depend on farming here in Africa. If you compare the white collar jobs with the blue collar jobs, most people do the blue collar jobs. And even the overall revenue in the whole country, the how do I say it, the private sector produces more revenue compared to the public. And sometimes if I compare our village with the Nyabohanse, I know comparison, it's not usually better, but that's, if you compare, that's when you know the good and the bad thing. And also that's when you know growth. There's a lot that comes with comparison. And I was just comparing how Nyabohanse people are so blessed, because if I look at our village, most people do farming. There's a lot of maize farming, sugarcane. Those are the commercial ones mostly. And let me say, I can't really tell any other cash crop that people usually grow over here. So for if you are a young guy like me, and maybe you haven't, maybe your parents can't afford school after maybe primary or high school, so maybe you can't afford to go to the college, or if you didn't get an opportunity to proceed on with your further education. So most of the time you see people farming, if not farming, keeping livestock. And it's also a blessing to do that, because there's quite a number of large tracts of land still available in our communities and also in our village. It's still a blessing, but that's a blessing that it's common everywhere. I'm at the front of our gate. Yes, that type of blessing is also common in Nyaboanze. But Marwa brought for them an alternative blessing, because if I walk in our village, I'm carrying my camera, but if I walk in our village, they will start wondering, what am I doing carrying a camera around, recording myself. But if you go to Nyaboanze, it's a case that is well known, and people respect it, because people value YouTube, because they've seen what YouTube can do in a community and even beyond. So sometimes I wonder, let me just try to look for light. Yes, I'm trying. No, the sky is so dark. Yeah, so if you are given an opportunity, another alternative, because I see the people of Nyaboanze are experiencing some quarrel, especially not really the people of Nyaboanze, it's just a few groups of people, maybe 1, 2 or 3, attacking the whole village, trying to cause commotion, something of the sort. But what they don't know is that with YouTube, because Marwa gave them the audience, they can do a lot, which most of us over here can't do. Most of us, the only thing we can do is just, apart from maybe going to school, which so many people are out nowadays. Many people have gone to school, many people are learned. In our community, I'm talking about over here. I don't know if I look, because even for now, when I came back home, I'm alone, and we are like, I have my 2 uncles, because at our place I had 4 uncles, but 1 passed away, and I'm remaining with my dad and my other 2 uncles. So my other 2 uncles, I have 2 cousins from those side, one from this side and also one from this side. They are not at home now because they've gone. Maybe they are employed, because they are older than me, because they don't want to stay in the village, simply because the village offers little, and people have the misconception that if you are in the village, you can't really do much. But I usually get the opposite, especially from our viewers. They are from the most developed continents, and they still admire what the villagers have in terms of resources. We can really produce a lot, but there's also an issue with that, because if somebody gives you land, you must have capital to be productive, for the land to be productive. And if you don't have capital, the land will just sit there, and that's the worst case scenario, because you can have so much resources but get little out of it. So if I the same way with the people of Nyaboanze, with the few guys that are attacking Marwa and some other YouTubers that are just doing their thing, trying to improve the village. Because without them, let's say without people like Marwa, most people viewing this channel, and even me personally, I couldn't have known most YouTubers in Nyaboanze. So I've known Nyaboanze. Nyaboanze is known worldwide because of Marwa, and trying to fight his name, I think trying to diminish the name of the village which you are living in, which your family, your friends, and the village is literally feeding you. I think it's weird, and I think they should grow up. And I should put, maybe, I know I don't like really violence. If you've stayed with me, I usually tend to keep quiet if you've wronged me, because I know violence doesn't help. But I think it's also Nyaboanze, the villagers, it's also their responsibility to keep and maintain what the people of Nyaboanze has built together with Marwa. So if you have someone in the village, you know, if it were someone else coming from outside the village, it could have been different. But now it's just people within the village, and the villagers knows their homes. I think they should also take the responsibility and just go talk to them, because through Marwa there's a lot of villagers being helped, because he mentioned in one of his charts I saw with True Boy, if I'm not wrong, he said there's a lot of kids that have been sponsored, that have been taken to school, which is so nice. And I think the villagers should also help, because they shouldn't only put that for responsibility for Marwa alone, because Marwa is also helping them. So they should also just come in together and also support Marwa with the few challenges it's facing. I know within some few months the thing will be over, and there's almost 8 billion people in the world, and if you are doing it for the money, getting a few thousand views, just a few, not that many, because I saw the channel, I was wondering if this guy is doing it for money. Let me see the attraction he's getting in his channel. Then I saw just a few thousand views, which is not worth it, because we have over 8 billion. And if he's done that thing for some time, if he has done it for some time and is not really attracting so much attention, then it means it's not worth it. That's according to me, because if you're doing something productive and you do it over time with the population, because you can also, Mara mentioned, you can vlog about so many things. There are so many things to vlog about. There are so many things. But yeah, I think my message is just for the my message is for the people of Nyaboanze, for those that are concerned. I know there are villagers, but there are those that are concerned and those that are not. So if you're viewing this and you are a member of Nyaboanze and you are concerned, I think you guys should also take the responsibility of correcting these guys, checking them. It's called check them. Yes, so that you put them in the right path, because they are destroying a lot of things. Yes, so today I'm also at the farm. Nowadays I usually be on the farm because as I've said, in the village can't really do much apart from farming and livestock keeping. But for us, we do farming more than livestock keeping. But in livestock keeping, I'm just trying to change the narrative. I just want to keep a few dairy cattle in the future, few goats, yes, just for meat, because I've realized, because people are moving from the villages. For now there's a rural urban migration. So as I've said, if you come back to the village, you rarely find your friends that you used to play with them while you were young. So I just want to take that advantage and stay in the village. I know I mentioned I'll be going to and fro, so I'll take the advantage of just being in the village, seeing what I can do with the resources. And that's why when I was beginning the video, you saw me cutting a lambkin tail, a female lambkin, because she's a female. In the next 1 year she'll be giving birth to another lambkin. Yes, so I just want to change the narrative and keep a little cattle. And we have we bought my dad bought a calf for the dairy, for milk, for the dairy cattle. Yeah, so those are some few steps that we are trying to make as a family. And I know for the people viewing, we've been family. I've literally been close to you because I have more friends on this platform than in real life, and that's really explains how important this next chapter of our life is. So I'm just trying, maybe in the future, in maybe a year or two, we'll be having some dairy cattle for milk, which will help just for domestic, will be a source of protein for us domestically, and also for our visitors, because I know maybe one day we'll be frequently having visitors, so we are just preparing for that. And also, sometime back I mentioned Liam. I also want, when Liam's come over to this side of his family, I just want him to experience a lot of things. He can try milking them, the cows. He can come to the farm. He can eat fruits. Yes, something of the sort, because also us, when we were growing up, we really had a lot to just grow up with, in terms of, maybe we had the fruits, we had a few dairy cattle, we had sugar cane, and I can remember when we used to drink molasses. Molasses was for the dairy cattle. My parents, they were not okay. My grandfather was the main how do I say it? He was the man in charge, let me just say it that way. So because we used to have a sugarcane plantation, so the factory isn't far away. So accessing molasses I think is a byproduct of sugar. So cows usually love them, the dairy cattle, and they also help in milk production. So they were brought, they used to be brought, so we used to lick them while we are young. So those are the memories I'm trying to create for our young generations to come, maybe even mine, maybe, yeah, if God blesses me more. Yes, so over the village, over here, if I compare it, if I had the opportunity to be like Marwa and help the villagers, I think with a few how do I say it, because we are learning from him too, I'll try to avoid so many things as possible, although you can't, because in a community we have different kinds of people, but still that won't hinder me or us from helping this community over here, because coming back to the village and finding a few friends isn't really, there's something that is coming out of it. It means people are running away from the village instead of coming back to the village to grow up the community the way Marwa did at Nyabwanze. But some few people in Nyabwanze are not seeing that, which is very unfortunate, but I know one day things will change. Yeah, so I'm at the village, and in front of our farm, our maize farm, I mean. And we have one helper, just like Yeyo Kama Yeyo over there. We always have one guy who is always helping. His name is Owich. Yes, Owich. In a job. Yes, so the guy has been with the family since my dad was a teenager. because he usually tells us a lot of stories. So he's been around helping with the farm. He's still around. He saw me being born. Yes. Koro wichamba wuoyo gi ji kae kamera. Inyalo moso gi nie. Yes. So you know. So he's just digging the maize, and also these are beans. These are beans over here. Yes. So our friend here, it's a little bit even older than my dad, because he saw my dad when he was around my age. Don't you know Baba Karam Kod? Yes. So he doesn't know English, not Kiswahili, but he knows our local language, Doluo. Don't. Koro angiso gini isetiyo kodwa chak kane babu arom koda do pod in kodo. Yeah, koro angiso gini sekonyo dayo kata dayo mang'eny beche wach det. Yes. So inyawacho nyingi. Yes, wacho.
My name is Morris Owich.
Can you English? Your name is Morris Owich.
Morris Owich.
I never knew he knows English because we rarely speak with him in English. So your name is Morris Owich.
Morris Owich.
The first time I know, the first time I'm knowing his name is Morris.
Morris.
Yeah. Kech wano luongi gani Owich. Yeah. So abro mana we idhi mbele. Kony mama be puro kama tin.
Dagiol na kony mo.
Well, so wabro read. Yeah. So I'll leave him to continue with the work. So it's today years old because we've not really literally stayed in the village for so long. Even if we are in the village, we don't usually because when you are young, most of the time you are at school, and most of the farm jobs are usually done in the morning. So when you go to school in the morning, come back late in the evening. But he's been around. He's such a nice guy. He's still around. And if there's someone that can really tell us or tell you guys the history of our home, is him, because my grandfather employed him to help him with the compound. Because I saw Marwa's conversation with the same True Boy. I don't know whether I'm right with the name. Trying to look for light, yes. And he was mentioning, True Boy mentioned that he has a very big house, and one challenge with that is maintenance. And I reflected that with the few individuals in Yabwanze trying to just talk bad or talk ill about Marwa. I know they are doing it for the money, but you can have money, buy 10 acres of land, build a 10-bedroom house. But there's something with the money. It has to be consistent. And if you are doing something that is short-lived, and maybe in some few years, the money that you are getting, is kind of being drained, you'll be depressed. You'll be depressed. I'm saying these things because I've been in a position to see them. Yes, while growing, while I was still young, like let me say primary, yes, when I was in primary. So I've been in a position to see them. And the reason why I've talked about that in connection with the guy helping us is because my grandfather had a big compound. He tried to have, because in Africa, Africans had big lands, and they tried to make a big family just to help with the farming, with the cattle and the rest. So, and you know, as the children grow up, they live, like as for now you see in this village, people have left, people of my age, you can't literally see them easily. So a witch was around to help. For me, I was born and found him in our home, helping with the cows, the farm, but mostly he used to deal with the farm. Yes, with the farm. So if you aspire to have more money, you should really calculate for the future, because if you build even a 6-bedroom house or 7-bedroom house, you have to have the money to maintain it for the years to come. And also you have to teach someone close to you. It can be a member of your family, a member of your society, village, community, whatever, that can maintain the house that you've built. So it's not usually about making money, but it's usually about growth and development, because sadly humans have a very long lifespan, but also a short one, depending on how you view it. Yeah. So while you are not around, you should have people that are civilized enough to continue with your what you've built, I mean. Yeah, so I've been very, sometimes I get emotional, but yeah. When I think I did a video a few days back when I was talking about this platform just giving me the courage to express myself, and most importantly to defend myself, because this platform has, in a society we'll have those few people who always want to cause trouble. So you have to be in a position well enough to defend yourself. So for me, I think you'll come at me and I'll defend myself, and if you try to continue with it, I'll leave you there hanging, because I don't really want to dwell much with the negative side of life. Yes, so I'll leave you alone with whatever you're saying. If it pleases you, well and good. Yeah, so I'm just still working at the farm, and behind me there's a bush. It's not really a big bush, but kinda it's a bush which really needs to be cut down. It's a very big piece of land, and I mentioned that we are trying to, I'll go back at home and just show you a few calves. So as per now, we have 2 pure breeds of dairy cattle, only 2, and we intend maybe for them to be 5 big, because keeping more of them, it's also a very huge responsibility. If I'm given, I'll be so grateful to have, yes, but around that number is our main goal. So maybe in the future we'll cut down the bushes just to form some paddocks for our cattle, for the dairy ones. Yeah, so I'm here at the farm, sugarcane plantation, and I'm seeing stacks of sugarcane just still around. The guys were supposed to come yesterday to come pick them up. Today's the second day since they cut them down. They shouldn't be here for sometimes for that long, I mean, because it's a good thing it's raining, so they are not drying. It's really cool over here. It's really cool. Yeah, today there's no sun, there's no light, but I hope I'm visible. So they should come maybe probably today, pick them up, and that's also the main reason why people don't usually even like to do farming, especially with the sugarcane. We are a few of us who still keep sugarcane for commercial, because I don't know how these companies nowadays work, because apart from the late payment, you can take your sugarcane to the factory and not being paid in time. Such delays also hinder people from just cultivating, and people tend to want the white collar jobs, because these other ones in the village, they tend to have a lot of stress somehow. But it's what this is our path. My parents have been literally farmers for the longest time, so I think for us, we are already used to it. So we'll just figure a way forward. We'll just keep calling them so that they come. But I know if in case they are on the way, that should be better. Yes, so I really love the life of just waking up and just coming to the farm to check on it and see it's really doing well. Because before I went to Nyabanze a month ago, we literally dug this farm, the whole of it. We were with my dad and two gentlemen who were helping us, because over here, if someone, it's not like a long time ago, community members used to come and help you for free, but nowadays you have to give them something small so that when they return home, they don't return empty-handed. So we dug the whole place with the cows, the bulls, yes, and even planted the maize, the beans and the groundnuts. And also we have, I always feel proud just coming over here and seeing the farm doing well. And I'm seeing God has really blessed us with rain, so everything is working out nicely. So I'm just heading home, just also to check a few things. Yeah. Narudi home. So there's a road passing through our land, but recently they've been enlarging the roads. I'm seeing the guys, they're trying to build a tarmac road, which will be so nice. It will be so nice. At least having a tarmac road passing in between your land, just out of the compound into the tarmac road, because we've been using that road. It's Maram now. It's a Maram road. We've been using it like that since I was young, since I was born. Yeah. So I'm back home, and it's really cool over here. It's just birds of sound all over. Yeah. So I mentioned that we recently acquired one calf for the dairy. So we have two of them. You have the red and white. Are they called Fresian or Jersey? I don't know, but this one is one of them. Yeah, and ticks love them. And we have another one. I don't know. Yeah, let me just go and get it. So maybe one day we'll try and we'll be feeding them so that they grow faster, so that we can have milk, because also milk is a source of protein. You can get cheese, and butter, if I'm not wrong. So if we get milk, maybe one day I'll try to make cheese here in the village, here at home. Yeah, so I'm trying to look for the other one. I'm not seeing her. And she's the newest. Not really new, but she's still a visitor to this home. We acquired her some few days back. Yes, I'm not seeing her. No, usually we just leave the calves and the sheep, not sheeps, sheep, yeah. We always leave them just to graze within the compound, because the compound is big, and if you don't leave them to graze continuously on the grass, it will overgrow. And you know, slashing the whole compound is usually hectic. We don't have a lawnmower, so in case the grass overgrow, we'll be forced to just bring in on people just to help. And doing that is always tiresome, because you have to also cut the fence at the same time. You have to continuously shape the fence so that it also don't overgrow, because if it overgrows, we'll have a lot of snakes. Yes. So I'm not seeing her. I saw her around, but I'm not seeing her. Yes. So she's here. So the guy is here. She's still new, so she's still getting used to the weather, the grass. So for now we are giving her napier grass so that she can also adapt. We didn't buy her like there's a market where I went with my dad the first time. We went to look for one, but we never found one on that day, the ones that we wanted. So my dad recently, I think 3 days ago or 4 days ago, he went and found this guy over here. Yes, so she's being given, this is napier grass. She's literally feeding on it so that he can get adapted with the weather. The market isn't far away. It's a market between two communities, at the boundary. So our community, and also we have the Kisses. So we are the Luos and the Kisses. So at the boundaries where they place the market for. So each communities bring different products for trade. They meet at the boundary exchange. But nowadays you exchange for cash. And when you are going to the market to look for the dairy cattle, you look at the mammary gland, because that is what will tell you, or that's how you can easily predict if the calf or the dairy cattle you're buying is gonna give you a lot of milk in the future. When I was in primary, my grandfather used to have a dairy cattle where they bought at in Nakuru at Egerton University. Maybe if there's a person who is from Kenya. So they went there and bought a dairy cattle, and the cow was producing 15 to 20 liters per day. So you can imagine. So if you have 5 dairy cattle giving you 20 to 15 liters, that can be a very good production of milk, and also a very good source of revenue to sustain yourself and also your family. So that's why I mentioned that because there's rural urban migration, I want to do the opposite. I want to do the urban rural migration so that I can take care of the opportunities that are available I know the calves that I've shown you, the black one, this is black and white, and the other one was white and red. I know they are not that pure breed, but there's a way that you can make them pure breed. So when they are old enough to mate, you take them to a bull which is exactly pure breed. So the calf that will be born will be better in terms of milk production than the mom. So also when the calf grow up to a mature age, you take it to a pure breed bull, so that the calf also becomes pure than. So you upgrade going up like that. So that's how you can start from not really, I know these ones are not pure breed, because the one I've talked about, not Egerton. Universities are institution of research. So if you go to a university, you'll get the best cattle, because they are the cattle that have been researchers done to them or upon them. So you'll get the best breed. And also you can go to a farmer who usually keeps a lot of dairy cattle. You can get the best breed. But if you go to the market, getting the best breed is luck, but you can upgrade up and up. I hope I've given you a tip, yes, on how to keep your dairy cattle. So I know a few things about dairy cattle, because growing up we used to have a lot of dairy cattle, maybe like 10, something of the sort. So maybe if God really blesses us, we can redo that again. Yes, so we are still in the process, and maybe hopefully one day when our visitors come, I can give you milk, can give you cheese, can give you butter, and even a calf, why not? Yes, so it's been a very enjoyable talk. Actually, I've really enjoyed this talk, because to me it has sounded like a conversation. Yes, it has sounded like a conversation. So I'll wait for the guys that are supposed to come with the come and pick the sugar cane. Hopefully if they come, I'll share the experience. I know I've shared it once. This is the second time I'll be sharing it. So I hope you stay around and just watch the videos. If you are new, please subscribe. If you're married, regular viewer, Ken over here is grateful for the support. And wherever you are, just take care of yourself. Over here is midday. We are almost eating lunch. Yes, maybe in some other places it's in the morning or in the afternoon. But wherever you are, take care of yourself. And let's meet in my next video. Bye bye.